guys? It's Whisky Website Wednesdays. Yeah, there's no Mira, so I really don't know how to introduce this, so I'm just going to talk until someone stops me. This is my box, I don't put it down. Well, today, I'm with Anish. Say hi, Anish.
What's up, people?
He was forced to be on this. I'm kidding, he volunteered.
No, I was forced.
Yeah, he was. So, without Mira here, this is the All Males Valentine's Edition.
Romance.
You did not know that was coming.
Nope.
Well, yeah, today we got a new whiskey. Have you tried this one before? It's called Aberfeldy, right?
I have not tried that, no.
Yeah, I have not either. To be honest, I only bought it because this looks pretty. I mean, black and gold is my jam. Aberfeldy, it's a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, 12 years. And while he unboxes and uncorks this, I'm going to maybe give you guys a rundown. We're also going to be talking about SEO today, so he's the expert there. He's going to talk to you guys about SEO. I'm just going to ask some questions and talk like an idiot. Okay, so apparently this is a 12-year-old Scotch, single malt from Scotland, from the Highland region, and yes, it does have some coloring involved. The producers, it's apparently about a fruity, clean, and polished malt, touch of honey and spice. It's an introduction. It's a new introduction to the Highland distillery, and it looks pretty promising. I mean, the tasting notes are pretty good. But you know what? Before we look at the tasting notes, we'll try it out. Well, here we go. Let's try that to learn. So apparently, first we swirl. See how it runs down the glass. It's actually pretty thick.
Yeah, it does. It's just like sticking to the sides, right?
Right? Yeah, it's not really running at all. And that, again, I just think everything looks like apple juice. This too looks like apple juice to me.
Let's see if it tastes like apple juice. Shall we?
Hey, wait, how does it smell?
I smell honey.
Yeah, I guess there is some flowery as well.
Yeah. Sort of reminds me of Aberfeldy.
Right, but I don't know if I'm like if it's because I see the Aber and I'm just I just thought okay it'd be like
it's
Aberfeldy.
just a mind game.
Do you smell pineapple?
No, I don't.
No, I just read that. That's why.
It's not fair, guys.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. All right, well, we'll try it out. Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Aberfeldy, good luck. I'm trying to figure out what that taste is. Do taste the caramel.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It is a weird burn at the end, right?
Yeah, there's a really weird aftertaste. Am I right?
Yeah, but what is it? I don't know. Well, let's try it with some water. And while we do that, I'll talk to you guys more about life. Life sucks, guys. You guys aren't drinking with us. You're not commenting. I need you guys to talk to me. I'm getting lonely. Nancy wouldn't talk to me. He's drinking. I'm just kidding. Let's try this with water. Actually, the smell does open up, though.
Better, but still a burn at the end, right?
Yeah, but I do taste the fruitiness. I don't know if there's no vanilla or anything like that in this. Well, let's find out what the producers say. So they're telling us it's a full golden yellow, which we can see that almost an incense-like smell, heather honey with a fruity softness, notes of pineapple, which I read and cheated, and toast and cereal. Did not smell cereal. Syrupy, lingering on the tongue like a liqueur. Sorry, I was like, yeah, liqueur. It is liqueur. Full body is definitely a full-bodied whiskey. Full flavor. The perfume characteristics become more spicy. I think that's what we're tasting at the end.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, with a bitter hint of Seville oranges.
You know what though? Like I feel like a lot of Highlands have this sort of
Spice.
yeah, like a lot of the Highlands I've tried have this characteristic to it where it's just very like, you know, that aftertaste, that spicy, the sort of the burn.
Yeah, I find them all dry.
I do, yeah.
Which is not bad. Like I do like that, but I mean it depends on my mood, I guess, that day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, that was good. Aberfeldy, not bad. Just like almost saying the wrong girl's name. Aberfeldy, not bad, guys. I think I'm gonna have to taste a little bit more of this before I really come to a conclusion. But all right, today we're gonna be talking about
SEO.
SEO. What is SEO?
SEO is search engine optimization.
So it's a long word, it's a mouthful, but you guys can learn more if you check out Outside the Box. But before you do that, he's going to teach you everything there is to know. That's
I can't teach you everything, but I'll teach you as much as I can fit within about 5 minutes.
Well, to start, I mean, we've talked a lot about social media, we've talked a lot about websites. And now when we have people that come to us for website building, it's usually they get an amazing website, it's beautiful, it's clean, give them a modern design, usually do some market research and find out what exactly their market is doing, what exactly their industry needs in terms of needs for a website. But why does every company, every website need SEO?
So I was watching a webinar once, and something that I heard and I thought was quite funny was that the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google.
Wow.
Right? And the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of companies don't realize that if they're not being found on Google, which is the world's most prominent search engine, if they're not being found on Google, or even Bing and Yahoo and whatever, they're likely not getting as much business as it potentially could be.
Fair enough.
Right? So what we do here is our goal is to get you from the 5th, 10th, 100th page of Google and get you to the first page, and then slowly but truly get you to the first position on the first page. And I think that's the most important part, because when someone searches for, website design agency in Mississauga, like they're being very, very specific. They're not just saying web design.
Yeah.
They're not searching for just web design. They're searching for a web design agency in Mississauga.
Yeah.
And the first few links need to be as relevant as possible.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what we aim for. We aim to get your business to that first spot, so when someone does click on your link, or that first position or second or third, they are getting relevant information to their business and for their business. So I'll give you an example of this. Like if you typed in Highland Scotch, right? Highland Scotch whiskey. I'm sure Aberfeldy would love to be on the first position, first spot. Now there's a lot of factors involved, and that's what I'll touch on a little bit as well.
Yeah,
sure. So there's on-page factors, meaning your website requires it's all more technical, but like your headings and your alt tags and your meta descriptions and all of these things, they sort of work together to allow Google to better understand what it is your website is talking about. And there's also off-page factors such as your social rankings, backlinks, and so on. I've just scratched the surface here, but nonetheless, the point is that that's why it's important, is because if you want to essentially make money while you sleep, and you want the leads coming in, then you need people to find you where they're looking for you, and where they're looking for you is Google, right? And so that's what we're doing for ourselves, of course, and all of our clients. And so it's pretty beneficial. How about you?
I mean, I definitely, from my experience, I think I would say the same. I mean, it's kind of like that. What is that example you say? I've heard you say it to some clients.
It's like I say this a lot. I'm a sales guy at the end of the day, but it's like a Ferrari. Like you could have a Ferrari parked in your driveway, right? Just the body and no engine, right? And it looks great. People walk by your street and it looks great, right? Or walk by your house or your driveway and it looks great. But the problem is that if there's no engine to drive the Ferrari, you're not allowing as many people as you want or would like for them to see the Ferrari, right? Because if it's parked in your driveway or in your garage, all that does for you is it's just it's a feel-good kind of moment. Like, oh, I have a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And same thing goes for websites. It's like, you could have the most beautiful website in the world, right? Same thing goes for artists.
Yeah.
You could have the most amazing artwork in the world. But how are you getting these things? Your website, your art, your music, whatever it is. how are you getting these things into the hands or the ears or whatever of your potential customers, your clients, your listeners, your viewers, right? And that's what SEO is. SEO is the engine that drives marketing, that drives users, that drives readers to your website.
Fair enough.
And again, that's what we focus on.
I mean, at the end of the day, another example I like to use is almost the age-old question of if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a noise? Same way, if you have a beautiful website with a great product, but no one is seeing it, no one's doing it, do you actually exist? Does your website actually exist? You are your consumers, you are who views you, right? So at the end of the day, exactly what you said, you want as many people to see it. Having a beautiful website is the first thing because you don't want people to come to a website that they want to leave right away. A thing we call bounce rate. Like, a high bounce rate means people are coming in, looking at it, I don't like it, I'm out. And within 10 seconds, a lot of people know. I think that's what this number is, right?
And to touch on that very quickly, sometimes it's not even about them not liking it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just about the fact that it's not relevant.
It doesn't speak to it.
It doesn't speak to what they're looking for. Yeah. And then, of course, you're going to have a bounce rate, right? If you're a software company and your market is the enterprise market, but your website looks like it's tailored to be for a small to medium-sized business, well then they're probably, the small to medium-sized businesses are going to come to your website and then later realize, oh, this is an enterprise software, so why am I here? Why am I on this page, right? So again, you could do SEO for just about any industry. There are very rare cases where we will strictly say, like, it doesn't make sense, and we'll be open and honest to our clients and say, we can't work with you on this front. But then we give them other options such as PPC and social media strategies and so on. But yeah, again, going back to SEO, it's one of those things that until you try it and you really put in the effort, you don't realize what your ROI is, right? And I'm going to go back to making money while we sleep because that's something that happens for us, right? And we'll go to sleep and we'll wake up the next morning with like 5 leads in our inbox, right? And I mean, I don't know what your close ratio is or your company's close ratio is, but for us, out of those 5 leads, we could easily close,
a lot of them. We do close at a high rate, and it's also because the people coming to our website, they're already warm leads, and what I mean by that is they already have been qualified. They were looking for something specific. The results they got were an answer to that question that they were looking to get answered because that's how we tailored it. And then once they have the answer, they know, okay, this is where I want to go. So once they're messaging us, they're not messaging us not knowing what we do. They know exactly what we do. Exactly. And they're actually just looking for us to do it now. Because they've got all the information they needed with that one first click. Right away, we laid it out like, this is what we do, this is how we're going to help you for the question that you just asked Google. And call us or email us now. They end up emailing us, we pick up the phone, we're like, well, yeah, you want to start today or tomorrow? Yeah.
And that's something else I want to touch on very quickly before we wrap this up. Most businesses run 9 to 5.
Yes,
I'm sure. For sure. Right? I'm sure most of you know this, unless you're in the retail industry or a couple of other industries. Most businesses do run 9 to 5, especially the B2B businesses.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Business to consumer, sure, you're open a little bit later, your support's open, whatever the case is. But the fact of the matter is that not everyone finds time to search for what they're looking for between the hours of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a huge issue because come 7 o'clock, I just ate dinner. I'm ready to get on my computer, just do a little bit of research. I'm looking for an auto body shop in Mississauga, right? Now, if you're not open past 5 o'clock, if that auto body shop isn't open past 5 o'clock, you have one of 2 options. You could call them and hope that they have a voicemail system and then hope that they'll get back to you, right? Or you could email them and then, again, they'll get back to you as soon as they can, right? So that's sort of how our business works as well, and that's how a lot of our clients' businesses work. They're open from 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock, they get a lot of leads
Yeah.
as we've done our research and we've done our split testing and so on.
Mhm.
And we've noticed a trend. After 5 o'clock, between the hours of 7 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Mhm.
is when a lot of people are searching, when a lot of people are looking for a service, right? And at that point is when these people are filling out the forms,
Yeah.
and when they're when they're trying to contact said company.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to do here with SEO is just have that, like when you're not there to answer that phone call,
Mhm.
you're asking the customer to then leave their email address, a callback number, some information about what they need,
Yeah.
and then we move forward from there.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, like he said, he could probably go on about SEO for days. We can go into what things like backlinks. We can go into, domain ranks. We can go into meta tags, descriptions, back end, front end, all the ends. But that was kind of your high level overview of SEO. If you want to know more, you can always contact us, info@outsidethebox, or you can pop by, ask us some questions. Maybe you need a website and some SEO done, or maybe you already have a beautiful website, but no one's finding you, and you want to be found because, hey, you want your beautiful website to be viewed, and you want clients. At the end of the day, you probably don't have a website, unless you're a blogger specifically just trying to get information out there, some news thing. Even then, you want people to show up and find you. So you want people to find what you're doing. And the only way to do that in today's age is SEO, because if you're not doing it, and like you said, you're on the second page, you might as well be with the dead bodies, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
Well, that was that. This is Outside the Box. Check out our website. I think the website's here. Website's here. Outside the Box. Check us out. This is Anish. If you want to contact them directly, Anish at Outside the Box or Anish at Valentine. I'm Gaush. You know me. You guys can also, message Mira. She's in India, so if you have questions about India marketing in India, social media in India, please email her immediately. It's probably night there, right?
Yeah, so email her.
Yeah, email her immediately and inundate her with emails. Probably wake up and hate us for it. But hey, it's okay. I think she brings some Indian whiskey as well, so you gotta try that out.
Yeah, I think she's bringing Bond.
Ooh.
And I think it's called Amrut.
Oh man, I'm excited. I don't think I've tried either of those, so I'm excited. This was Whisky Website Wednesday. We're up. This is Outside the Box. If you have SEO needs, website, PPC, anything, digital marketing services, give us a shout. It's been Gaush. It's Nish. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for doing this, man. Thank you for filling in.
No problem.
Just as pretty as ever. See you guys soon. Peace.